got going on? Me and Brenda Coles, that's right. Me and Brenda Coles together on another Sunday and the same month. How cool is that? Hey, Brenda.
Hi, Ms.B. How are you?
I'm excited to have you twice in 1 month. That's how I are. All right, everybody. This is Ms.B. Positively Ms.B. I'm the CEO of Storm Talk 365 Radio, your faith-based podcast network, where we help you talk to the storms in your life. You can find Brenda Coles the first Sunday of every month at 1 p.m. East Coast time, talking about various topics. She's been a social, civil, human rights activist for 40 some years. So she got a lot going on, and we got a lot going on today. But today we're going to talk about quite a few things: back to school, concerns about COVID, the upcoming election, quite a few topics you want to talk about. But Brenda, we had a guest scheduled, and unfortunately he was not able to make it for personal reasons. Let's talk about him before we move on.
Oh, well, yes, we definitely had a guest that we're going to hit schedule today. And his name is Barbara Mitchell Johnson. He is the owner of a new, and I say a very unique barbershop in Henrico County. It's called Cuts at Night. Now, Miss B, I like to say cuts at night. But what I like, and I love this shop. And first of all, we certainly got to get Barbara Mitch back on. And but what I do love about the shop is that they are open 7 days a week. Now that's very hard to find with a barber shop. And not only that, but they start early in the morning, and they have actually taken haircuts up to 11, 12 o'clock at night. Um, and they're going to be offering some additional features. They also have a salon in there as well, and it's fairly newly open. My barber is his name is Twin. He's in that shop. He is actually the shop manager, and Twin has actually been Elijah's barber since Elijah was in elementary school. So I have been knowing Barbara Mitch and of course Twin for many years. I was so glad when Barbara Mitch went from being in a shop to now owning his own, and he's doing such great work, and I'm just proud of it. We got to always be proud of when we having our brothers is continue to move, brothers and sisters continue to move, and anyone that started a new business. And they are located, like I said, Cuts at Night, and they are located at 7801 22 West Broad Street in Henrico. They're in the same shopping center with Buffalo Wild Wings. They're actually on that same side, down into a corner. Sometimes it's sort of hard to see it, but that's where Steinmart used to be on Broad Street. They're actually right very close to where Steinmart actually used to be. So, but most people go to Buffalo Wild Wings on West Broad Street. So that's exactly of the shopping center that they're in. We certainly got to get them back on because they have a diet. That I love the shop. The atmosphere, very friendly. You don't find that in a lot of barbershops, but absolutely love it.
Yes, absolutely love it. Now, I'm posting that address there. I have not had the privilege of meeting him, but I could let him cut my hair. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely.
When you go to someone and they look well polished, then you know they're about the business. Because a lot of people will cut your hair and they raggedy. A lot of people fix your car and they ride a hoopty. But this gentleman is very well groomed, and I'm impressed. And we have a couple of shots showing the facility itself is very well taken care of and organized to be comfortable for both the clients and the operators. I like the sign when you walk in. It's comfortable seating and easily accessible. Like you said, it's in a strip mall. And also, he's a supporter of breast cancer. I like that. And everything is well hidden when you get your hair shampooed. There's a privacy wall. Everybody's not looking in your face. So I like that as well. So that's Cuts at Night, 7801, number 22, West Broad Street, Henrico, 23294. And I also will post the telephone. He calls himself Barbara Mitch, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that is it for him. But Brenda, let's talk about back to school. I know we have a couple of topics we said we want to try to get in. But let's talk about back to school. A lot of people are not ready to say, yes, I'm ready for back to school. One of the things that you can look forward to is going to Cuts at Night. He has a lot of operators, and the wait is, understandably, going to have some time because of the time of the year, but you're in and out, and the prices are listed on the website, and I'm getting ready to post the link that now. But other than haircuts, there's a lot of things that people need to be aware of or getting ready for. What are some of the things you think people need to take into consideration this time, Brenda?
Well, and that's a great question because just as we speak, let me say this: we got a lot of schools that are now having to reevaluate rather not how school is going to proceed because of the numbers of Delta COVID numbers that are rising. And I say that because, first of all, let me put some numbers out for you and for you to really hear where we are. As of July the 29th, there were 4.2 million children that had been tested positive since the onset of COVID. Now, um, children count is a count of 22% for new U.S. cases. 22%. That's now of the number of children that, yes, indeed, are hospitalized. And of course, when you have children that's under 12 and they can't get a vaccine, and then you around family members that have not yet been vaccinated, um, well, that poses a grave problem for not just teachers that are not vaccinated or staff, school staff, but then also the other children. So I just think that there's a lot of things that parents certainly now have to take into consideration in getting your child back ready for school, and because I know even for my son that's getting ready to go back to high school now, he wanted to be vaccinated, thank God. And he did get his vaccination, and he got them a while ago. So that was good, especially when the drugstores, was opening up. So that's good. But and actually, all of his friends got vaccinated. These are teenagers. A lot of time, teenagers, especially seniors, they are in that mindset still of I don't want to do that. But no, they were very cognitive of it and that they wanted to get it done. So I'm hoping that a lot of the any of our youth that's over 12 years old, I really hope that they majority of them have gotten the vaccine. But in saying that, I will have to make sure still that Elijah is taking additional masks in school because and making sure of that. I'm going to have to make sure that he's having plenty of hand sanitizers with him. I'm going to have to make sure of, not just his books, because all of that is going to be changing if they decide to go back from all in-person learning to virtual learning, which I hope and pray that that doesn't happen because so many kids are just gotten so behind. But we got to get prepped for all of that. I'm one of these parents that I'm proactive instead of being reactive. I think that we have to be. It's all good to get those new clothes like we always used to be excited about for our children. It's all good to make sure we have all those new shoes or expensive shoes that we want to put in our children's feet. But I think right now, what as a parent, what I'm more focused on is making sure that that my son has the right equipment that he's going to need, whether it's in school or at home. I got to make sure that when he goes to school, yes, he's going to have on clothes on, but that's not where the money is going to go. The money is going to go in the investing of making sure that he remains safe on that campus and he doesn't get ill. Because you got to remember that this COVID variant is 6 times worse than the COVID, the onset of COVID. Not only that, but there's a Delta variant plus. So there's one even after that. So it's not, it doesn't seem as if it's getting a lot better, unfortunately, not at this point because of the numbers that's rising, but we got to just continue. Now, there is also a another vaccination that the kids have to have before going back to school. It may just be high school, but and it's I believe it's a uh, oh wow, I am so sorry. I did not cannot remember what it because Elijah have already had it. But it's a two dosage. He had the first one last year, and then he gotten the second dosage already, and they do it within about 6 months. But that's another is another vaccine that has to be taken before um, before kids go back to school. So you certainly want to call up your pediatrician or whomever to find out to make sure that they got that shot before they return back. So there's just a lot of um, things that parents have to do now. Then I believe that it's just going to be more so important of the safety, the health and safety of our children, and making sure that they do have the tools and to learn versus their outer appearance of buying new clothes and that type of thing. Keeping your hair cut like it cuts at night, and I think that's very important. And then keeping that self grooming because you're just being self groomed, being groomed, and then putting clothes on as long as they're nice and clean, you're fine. But we got so many other pressing issues dealing today. The other stuff can just wait. Yeah, it's
Speaking of
sad.
other stuff, we have a lot that we want to talk about on the second half. I'm going to take a little short break, but she gave us some very good things to think about. It's not just about clothes and tennis shoes and even school supplies, the health and safety. And even if, some schools are going to remain to be virtual and give you the option, there's a lot of things to consider. But one of the things that we want you to think about is taking this COVID variant very seriously. I mean, we should have been taking it seriously in the beginning, but now they said it is stronger than the worst, and people with um, vaccinations are not only catching it, they're becoming infectious and sharing it. So there's a lot of things to keep abreast on. So go to your CDC site where you get all the updated information and not hearsay. And the numbers in your area are available for you as well. So, Brenda, I thank you for that. We'll be right back after this short break. Well, hello, Miss Lily Branch Kennedy. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. This is the second half of a special episode of Leader's Voice with Brenda Coles. You can find her with me the first Sunday of every month around 1 p.m. East Coast time. Her episodes are usually anywhere from 30 to an hour long. Today, we have a special session. We talked about back to school a little while ago, and we have a few other topics she wants to discuss. What you just saw was a short clip for me. That's right, Ms.B, positively Ms.B. I'm on TV. Who knew? That's right. I come on every Friday, 9 a.m. East Coast time on the Preach the Word Network, on the local inspirational channel down there in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm on Daystar. I'm on Direct TV. I'm on Roku. I'm just about everywhere that you can have internet TV. The name of my show is Positively Miss B, your spiritual realist. And I simply ask, if it's true, how's it working for you? I use a scripture and talk about it for about 30 minutes or so. If it's true, how's it working for you? So many people say, I believe, but if it's true, how's it working for you? Speaking of working for you, Brenda Coles has been a community activist, human racist type person who don't foolishness. I mean, she come after you. Don't start acting crazy with the racists. But that being said, she has a lot going on. She's been an activist for over 40 some years, not to tell her age, but she started out as a teenager, so we'll do that. But the second half, we want to talk about quite a few topics that's on her mind. So, Brenda, we talked about back to school. What else do you want to talk about?
Well, let me talk about let me bring up our banquet that I was just so excited about last week. I definitely want to bring that up. And due to and because I was talking about the COVID and due to the rising numbers of the Delta variant, um, I have decided that we're going to postpone the the a banquet until a later date. Now, I do have that date, but at this moment, Ms. B, what we're going to do is just continue to monitor these numbers. But a evening with change makers banquet is very, very important because people like yourself, Ms. B, and others in the community that work alongside of me in working in activism, it's not easy. It's hard work, and we all volunteers. And I can't thank you all enough, Miss B, and those that are being honored. How much I appreciate you, how much I love you, and how much I was so excited and wanted this to happen on August 21st. And I refuse to let it go. That's why I just postponed it. It's not going to go anywhere. But I just postponed it to a later date. We will talk about that as I monitor those numbers, because my main priority is making sure everyone is safe. Um, we can always postpone the banquet and have it on another day because that won't change anything. We always have dynamic people because we always got people in the field. But we certainly want to make sure that everyone's safe. And because of the number of people, Ms. B, that I originally had, that I originally was going to have, and we had so many more people that was joining us. And we're going to get over to talking about their upcoming elections because, for instance, we were certainly going to have someone from Terma McCullough a campaign was going to be coming in. We had Attorney General Mark Herring that's going to be coming in. We had senators, our local senators and delegates statewide that we had invited in and had confirmation on. So for our candidates, we need to hear from them. We certainly need to hear from them. And I certainly was excited that they accepted and they was going to be in the room with us so we can actually hear from them and hear what they're going to say. But because that's important, but not just hear what they're going to say, but also for they can hear about the dynamic people that's in the community doing hard work that actually make their job easier. And I think that a lot of times people don't understand and people don't realize. And I think even for us as advocates, because we don't see it as any other way except out here advocating and working for the human race, working for our community, working for, and we can get individually, whether for our children, our elderly, our disabled, anybody. It doesn't matter what color you are. We don't look at that. We don't care about that. We don't care who you are. If you violate, if you discriminate, and it doesn't matter who. I don't care who you are. That's
She
simple as
done. She
that. I
coming
really
after
don't.
you.
I
Mm-mm.
don't care who you are. And so, and I tell people that when it comes to my work, as over 40 years of working in civil rights and fighting for truth and justice, well, if when I'm seeking truth and justice, it doesn't matter where it is. And if it's wrong, it's wrong. A lot of people want to take responsibility for what they do that is wrong against any of us. So and thank God. And I'm going to say this, Ms. B. I thank God for that. I thank God that He have given me the strength. I'm not going to say that this is how everybody should be. I'm not. I'm not going to say that. I think because I can't say what anybody should be. I will say that as people, all of us, Miss B, we got a voice. We have a right, and everybody have a right to stand up. And a lot of times we don't get involved, and I've said this many times. A lot of times people don't get involved in an issue unless it affects them personally. That is not the
Mm,
time to act. That
mm.
is never the time to act because that's when you have a hard time finding help. And then most of the time, or at least 95% of the time, those are the ones that want immediate gratification. And it doesn't work that way. So, but on the same token, And I mean, you hear it all the time. Well, that's not me. I don't get involved. Well, when it comes to your doorstep, it's not um, it's not if, it's when.
Come on now.
It's
She getting
if,
ready to
it's
preach. We got a sermon
because.
going up in here.
Right, yeah, that's right. Because when this COVID hit, and those same people that didn't believe that it existed, well, like you say, Miss B, how's that working for you? When it don't hit your family,
You better.
when it don't hit you, how's that working for you? I'm gonna take that from you, Miss B. I hate to take it, but I just took it.
No, man, it's
I mean,
resonating. How's it
I'm
working
not
for you?
being funny, but I'm being serious about that, because I know too many, too many families that's been hit with COVID. I know too many families that have lost, all in one. I know one family alone that lost the father, a brother, two uncles, and about three or four cousins. Now, thank God, I haven't had any loss in my family. And that's by the grace of God. I haven't had any loss in my family. I thank God for that. That's all I say that. I thank God for that. Because it could have hit any of us. And right now with this variant, I know I've gotten over on that a little bit, but I'm gonna go back to the banquet. But with this variant right now, we're having all these breakthroughs, even with people like me that have already had the vaccine. I'm still, I can still get infected. I'm very much aware of that. So this is where I wear my mask when I'm out or when I'm going to the store. I'm still masked up because you just don't know. So, but that was the reason why I did postpone the banquet. And as we move closer, Ms. B, what I'm going to do is continue monitoring these numbers. And if they do continue to rise up in the way that it appears as if they are at this moment, right now, um, so, we got the southern states, especially like Florida, they in such dire
Ooh,
straits, they still in denial down there about a variant. But we have to worry about our immediate family, making sure that they're okay. We have to continue to pray for these people. And when you don't really believe it, you have to continue. That's all you can do for them. You can't do anything else for them, because sometimes I look at it like this: we can't continue to just uphold ignorance. If that's what you want to do, if you just want to, you know, with willful blindness, just willful blindness. You can't keep defending that. How can you defend that? I mean, I don't mean to sound harsh, but I mean, come on, come on. And
the truth is never comfortable.
no, it's never. And then when you have, I've seen a couple people, because I'm a news buff. And I've seen a couple people that was on their dying bed, and they saying, "Look at me, I didn't believe it. I thought it was a hoax. Don't get like me." I wonder why, and this is my honestly opinion. I wonder why the media highlight those people, because you've been told a year and a half ago, and how many people have been affected by that one person. So it's not that I pray for you. I pray for you, because it's bad out here. But like I say, my the other thing I'm going to do, Miss B, is as we move along, and if we watch these numbers, I'm going to make some adjustments, even if it gets close to, let's say, when we're going into September, then we have to make adjustments to see what the CDC, what Dr. Fauci, and what they're saying as far as where we are, what they see within the coming months, to determine whether or not we'll be able to even move forward. For the next date that I did schedule. So we'll be able to see. But then, if that's the case, then I will have to take some additional, additional route, where I want to still be able to honor everyone. So, you know, the goodness that have come out of COVID is that people have gotten very creative. So you have to use that now. Use that creativity. to our benefit. And it's out there, and we can use it. Me personally, Ms. B, I love being in the room where we have everybody there, but I want to still make sure that we're having um, the candidate McCullough office speaking and having Attorney General office and his Attorney General speaking, and those also other senators and delegates that we need to hear from, and also and they need to hear what is that what the community and those advocates and activists as yourself, Ms. B, are doing out there across the state of Virginia, and how we're working to collaboratively together because in other states. Because let me tell you something, we are a global economy. We are global. A lot of people would like to look at us just as local, but we're global. And that's why I work that way. I work that way because that's important. So I would say that, but let me one time, just once, Ms. B, let me read off our names one more time, if I could. And I guess I want to thank those honorees, and that is Bernadette Lark, Winter Giovanni, Willie X. Brown, Versailles Webb, Mary Ann Champ, Damian Dillon, Francine Williams, Otis Robinson, Celeste Miller, Carter Oscanyon, Lily Branch Kennedy, Bonita Claiborne, Victor Pate, Kimberly Holloman, Susan Hester, and Vanessa Johnson. And again, if you know those names, certainly call them up and tell them congratulations, and we will see you at the banquet.
All right. You know what? Like you said, we may have to make some adjustments. We can also always do something virtual. But that being said, thank you for allowing me to be a part of such a distinguished group of honorees. I was not expecting that. And if and when the event does proceed, you have given me the opportunity to also host the event. So I'm really excited along with you. You're right. Not only do they need to be heard, they need to hear what has to be said and actually meet those who are contributing to the local community and why you chose them to be honored. So thanks again, Brenda Coles. Is there anything else you want to cover while we're here?
Well, no, because what I did cover while I was speaking is about the election. I do want to say that we definitely have to support the John Lewis Voters' Rights Bill. Okay, we have to support that bill. That is extremely important because we have, I think it's 23 states at the moment that have voter rights suppression laws in place. And we got to make sure that our rights are not being taken away. So everyone, you got to get out and vote. You got to especially people of color, we got to let that vote be, we got to let that voice be heard. And that is doing our vote. Now, because we know that majority of people vote during elections. I think there was a great number that came out in the primaries, which is fantastic. We always want to encourage people to get out. I know we work with Stamp the Vote, and Vanessa Johnson is a part of that, as well as I sit on that committee as well, and where they mobilize and have different locations of getting out and getting the word, getting people registered. So we got to continue this. Because we got this election that's coming up, and we got a choice, and so but we got a choice. We got governorship, which is very important. We got our attorney general, which is extremely important. Now, I have always said this, Ms.B, and I will continue to say this. The governorship is very important, but the attorney general position is even more important. The attorney general position is more important to me, in my opinion, because of what the attorney general can do.
Right.
And there's a lot of times that what we need out of the attorney general, the governor can make a phone call, but it's the attorney general that does it.
All right.
So we certainly need this, especially when it comes to our criminal justice matters. Criminal justice is so important to me. And I am the co-founder of CJC, Criminal Justice Collective. And that is something that I am very passionate about and what the Criminal Justice Collective committee team does. And I'm going to be working a lot more with the CJC. And we're gonna bring that more so on we're gonna bring that now on a local level. So I'm going to be talking a lot more, Ms. B. That's going to be something I would like to talk about next month is the CJC, what the CJC is about. We've talked about it. You all have met Brother Pate, but the CJC needs to be a focus, a local level focus because of our criminal justice issues. So I'm going to bring that forth to a local level for Virginia as a CJ under the CJC. So that's something that I'm working on, and I got a dynamic team of people that is going to be a part of that. So I definitely want to be able to introduce them to Ms.B at some point. But we have to make sure that our communities are taken care of, and we always that does start on a local level.
Yes, it
And
does.
so this is why the elections in November is so important. We got to make sure that everybody still gets out and vote. I want to encourage that, and hopefully when we get back on the next show in September, we're going to certainly talk more about that, and we're going to talk more about the CJC. Ms. B, thank you. It's always a pleasure for you giving me this platform. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. That's why you are going to be the host of the Changemakers Banquet, and you are an honoree because of the dynamic things that you do. I don't take that for granted. I don't think anything for granted that anyone does for our community. They're not doing it for me. They're doing it for our community, and they're doing it for their community. They're doing it for the nation, and they're doing it for the world because that's what makes the difference is the change that we all make in what we do.
Well, all right then. I'm just grinning all over myself. If you want to see more of Brenda Coles and Alita's voice, she has her own YouTube channel on my network, which is Storm Talk 365 on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and put in Alita's voice, and all of her episodes will come up. I'll put the link in the comment section as well. So if you want to see her, I think she's got quite a few 12, 13. I don't know how many months she's been with us, but she's got quite a few episodes. And Victor Pate was interviewed. He's on our Storm Radio 24 Storm Talk 365 page, but apparently Facebook has blocked a couple of the videos. They don't want sharing, and so you may not get that one, but we'll do another one. That being said, Brenda Cole's YouTube, Storm Talk 365, type in Alita's voice, and her videos will come up. All right, everybody, this is Ms. B. Get ready for school. Take COVID seriously. It's up to you, but like she said, the numbers are rising, and for 20-some% of children being involved, that's something to think about. All right, Brenda, thanks so much. Have a blessed
Thank
day,
you.
everybody.